Hi, I'm Grant, and today we're going to see how me Kevin can possibly live only making $6 million a year. Okay, but in all seriousness. Yeah, no, so we're going to be reacting to CNBC's Make It. They made an episode on me Kevin. It's living on $6 million a year in Ventura, California. And basically, CNBC's Make It series is a series where they take millennials, see how much they make, and then see what they spend it on. So we're going to be seeing how me Kevin spends $6 million a year. And just in case anyone's wondering, I haven't seen this yet, so I'm reacting to it with you.
Absolutely surreal. I remember that night after the kids going down, you asked me how much that I thought you made, everything related to YouTube.
In just May.
Just 1 month. And for him to see.
What? I'm sorry, I know I'm already pausing at 11 seconds. Whenever I tell my girlfriend, like, how much money I made, guess how much money I made in the stock market today? And she's like, $50,000. I'm like, what? No, now it seems small. It's usually like, I don't want to go into my finances too much, but it's usually a pretty significant number, and she's like, oh, you made $50,000. I'm like, no, now it seems small. Now I don't even want to tell you.
Say that it was crossing 7 figures was just mind-blowing. I didn't even know what to think. It was crazy.
That is mind-blowing. 1 month, 7 figures? Wow. I thought it was $6 million a year, not $12 million a year.
All right, ready to rock. Here we go. Recording and let's get that mic.
I gotta get a YouTube setup like that. Look at all those lights. I have one light.
Yeah.
My name is Kevin. I'm 28 and I make just over $5.75 million per year.
My name is Lauren. I am 30 years old and I make $250,000 per year.
Together, we make over $6 million per year.
And we live in Ventura, California.
You know, they live here. Like, I'm around this area, so I could actually legitimately meet Kevin. I could meet Kevin one day. I'd like to do that. I'd like to see him somewhere. If he ever left his house, of course. He's obviously like live streaming 24/7 now, so.
And welcome to, wait for it, Millennial Money.
I'm a real estate broker and real estate investor, and lately I've started making YouTube videos to teach what I know about investing in real estate and stocks online.
I am a full-time mother and also full-time property manager managing our own properties.
Wow.
A typical day for me starts.
You don't understand. A 5-bedroom home in Ventura, California is very expensive. Like, even the houses around here are all $1 million for like a 3-bedroom, so 5-bedroom, wow.
At about 5 a.m. Then I go down to my garage office set where I have a walking treadmill.
I need that. I need those soundproofing foam things that I had.
And I'll plan out the days.
I'm sorry. I used to have sound foam in my other room because I used to do a prank channel, and I used like spray glue to get them on. I didn't realize adhesive squares existed. So I used spray glue to get the foam on the wall, and it's still on there to this day. I cannot scrape it off. I can't wash it off. If anyone has any idea on how to get that off, please tell me.
Of videos. After that, by about 2 p.m., I like to go on a run with Lauren, so I get a little bit of fresh air outside.
Is it really a run with Lauren if she's on
a 5 to 2
on the scooter
answering
thingy?
Text messages or calls or filming videos. After the run, I'll catch up on emails a bit again. I'll look at properties and projects that are going on, existing renovations. And the goal is to have this drop-dead deadline by 5 p.m. of just hanging out with the kids. Come here! Come here!
That's nice. I want to be a dad one day.
A typical day for me would be setting my alarm for 8 a.m., but knowing that my children will be waking me up at 6 a.m., so I get up around 6:30 every day, and then I kind of just hang out with my kids, kind of ease into the day, look at all the assignments and virtual videos that are given to me from my son's teacher at his school. So in addition to that, I also have to attend to my younger son who is not in school and just handle his needs. I also have a lot of property management stuff that I continually have to deal with, emails, texts, or renovations, so I have.
That's so good. They're like literally, they're like the best duo for this because they both studied real estate. So like if you ever meet Lauren, she's like,
to do that as well.
She's had a lot of experience in this.
Like, Lauren, I need an answer right now. And then, right now.
It wasn't just
right
me,
now.
Kevin,
Like
being a real estate agent and pushing all the work onto his girlfriend. It was,
Shut up.
yeah.
So when I was 18 months old, I moved from Germany with my family to Florida. And in Florida, my parents knew nothing about American culture, society.
He doesn't have a German
They
accent.
barely knew how to speak English. And what's crazy about that is I came from this household that ended up divorcing when I was 6 years old, constantly having no money. There was a point when I was 7 years old where I went through the Washington Mutual Bank drive-thru, and my father withdraws with his debit card $20 from the ATM. And I'm, classic 7-year-old, like, oh, Dad, can I have that? And he's like, Kevin, I only have 11 of these left. This is at the same time.
I once had to wake up as a 9-year-old and give my dad whatever change I had because he didn't have enough money for the bus to work. Not the proudest moment of my life. He's making well over 6 figures now, but that was growing up like that is rough. Like, ugh.
Time as we're like losing our house after the divorce, and things are just a mess. And coming from that to
God, they're
meeting
so
you,
young.
both of us basically being at zero, having around $6,000-8,000 each, somewhere around there, and going into becoming real estate agents, being property managers, investing in real estate, using the
Tesla.
mentorships that are all around us, and taking that and then just making our own reality happen has been really empowering. And if anything, I can look back and say, wow, it kind of makes me want to share that story and say anybody can do this if we were able to do it.
I know that hearing people say that doesn't sound super genuine, but with me, Kevin, it's like he legitimately pushes, if I can do it, you can do it. I know I said this a lot in my last video about Me Kevin, the Me Kevin Exposed video. You should watch that after this one. But yeah, no, he talks about if I can do it, you can do it a lot. Like that is the most genuine version of it.
The way I got started in real estate was actually back when I was a law enforcement explorer and spent 3,000 hours on the road with law enforcement. I heard that an officer was dealing with, law enforcement during the day, but then on the weekends was helping people move into their first homes. This got me really, really excited about, wow, okay, there are tons of career paths.
Some of my earliest memories were going on appointments with my mother, who was a very, very highly successful property manager. And fast forward until I was 18 when
Yeah, see, look at that. Guy wants to be a real estate agent. Girl comes from a family that has experience in property management. What a duo, man.
I was studying and getting my real estate license. I then chose to follow the career path of my mother and work alongside with her and do professional property management.
Absolute amazing duo.
We ended up finding a trashed fixer-upper. And this place was a foreclosure. We had, barely, $8,000 each to our name to fix this place up somehow. And there was no kitchen. The bathrooms were gone. The toilets were gone. It was a disaster.
It wasn't just an educational process for these people touring our home. It was an educational process for us in knowing how to work with design and work with staging and just everything related to the process of buying and renovating a home. So we got kind of addicted to the idea of just owning homes and renovating them.
And especially in a cost-effective way. We're about to close on our 20th property in Southern California, which will be a 3-plex, 3-unit apartment building that we're turning into a 6-unit apartment building, which Lauren is really excited about managing.
Excited. I always wondered about that because I'm also interested in investing in real estate one day. And I know that Graham Stephan takes the approach of owning more and more expensive properties because they basically, instead of buying a $600,000 property, or two $600,000 properties, you'd buy a $1.2 million property and essentially make the same return, but with less management. And so I also wonder, between me, Kevin, and Graham Stephan, I wonder which one is better. It sounds like Graham's is better, but I don't know. Me, Kevin's a really smart guy. I feel like he has a reason for doing what he does.
Regarding our finances, I deal with most of the bills. We do keep a spend tracker between us, so anytime one of us goes to a store and spends money on something, we just use an Apple Numbers spreadsheet that links between us.
We established something years ago where we mutually thought, okay, what would be a realistic budget for our own personal needs, whether that be clothes or shoes that isn't business related. If I wanted to buy a necklace or a handbag, that would fall into that personal budget. So back then we said $200 per month that we would have that. I think we've upped it $50.
Wow.
I think that's
Yeah,
a
I
really
only-
good strategy for couples though, because it doesn't cause
Wow.
any resentment.
Okay, let's
So
learn
I
about
decided
it.
to start a YouTube channel and share all of the experiences I had and mostly all of the things I screwed up on to try to help people prevent making the same stupid mistakes that I had made.
2017. I see it
just
is
had
now.
my second
Actually,
son
you
right
don't have to
when we
imagine, 'cause he's gonna
started
tell you.
making YouTube videos and just started getting monetized at that same time. It was definitely an adjustment that we all had to work as a family to try and figure out the balance, because Kevin's nature is very much take on as much as you can possibly take on and work, and other things were suffering.
150,000 a
The most
month
I've
in
ever
ad
made in a
revenue.
single month in real estate.
I'm not
would be real
jealous.
estate commissions and investing in real estate would be around $150,000 in just 1 month.
Ow.
Is
Damn it.
absolutely amazing. But the most I've ever made in a month from YouTube has been $1,070,000. I don't even know how to say that right. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I think, seriously, this
Wow.
is what YouTube sent? It makes me feel like I'm playing with Monopoly money. Over the last 18 months now, our revenue has gone from just being real estate commissions,
Wow.
to, well, breaking even or losing money on the construction business, to making a little bit of money on YouTube, $100 a day, $3,000 a month, to where we are now, where YouTube is paying somewhere around $200,000.
Yo.
Affiliates and my courses and my educational programs, which people love, and then they'll go buy another one. All of those together can sometimes add up to another $300,000-400,000.
Make it in a month on
per
YouTube
month,
what I plan to make in the next 10
which
years of my
is
job.
absolutely mind-boggling because it doesn't feel like we're different people.
That's
but
crazy,
the
dog.
number is
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean, there were 2 months this year during the pandemic where we crossed 7 figures in a month. That was my dream. My dream was that the construction business and the real estate sales business together would get me to $1 million a year. And that business failed and led to what we're doing now. So I could thank that failure for being where I am now, to where we had 2 months this year crossing 7 figures in 1 month.
It's amazing.
That's incredible.
We have 2 children. We have Jack, he's 5, and we have Max, who's 2.5. I think
If I have a son, I want to name him Jack. And honestly, I had very little to do with that decision. Jacqueline just really wants... My girlfriend's name is Jacqueline, by the way. She just really wants to name our kid Jack.
the idea of having children is always something we've been very
She
fond
basically
of.
wants little clones of herself.
Having 6 kids.
We do want to have like an army of kids.
We do want
Yeah.
that. But I think the idea of children is more fun than the actual reality
I wouldn't
sometimes.
say that.
But I mean, it's true, because when you have the idea of having kids, you don't think about all of the things that go with it.
I actually got frustrated hearing people's criticism and
Until they're
comments
teenagers.
before I had a kid, or even when I was pregnant with my first kid. Like, oh, it's going to be way harder than you think. And I'm like, yeah, I read up on it, so I know it's not going to be that hard. Like, what do you take me for? And oh my gosh, like, I can't express enough to any.
Do people still do that? Do people still say, "Oh no, raising a child's not going to be that hard"? What do you do? Do people even still do that? I've never met someone who thought raising a kid was going to be easy. Like, I think we universally have the idea that it's hard at this point. Like,
potential parent that you just can't even prep for it. There's no way you can actually prep for it. Being so tired that you feel like you're going to like fall asleep while you're breastfeeding your baby, and then the constant attention, it's just unbelievable. Now, would I change it? Of course not. I love it so much. Once we incorporated kids, we definitely spend more money on them than we even do ourselves. I'm not one to spend a bunch of money on clothes or accessories for myself, but if my kid wants something that I think is educational and it costs, $150, like, yes, I want that for you. It's the best for you.
Oh man, I hope I'm financially set enough to be able to give my kids options like that one day.
I don't always follow all the rules that I'm supposed to, and sometimes that's not so good. There were a couple instances.
I love
that
seeing
came up,
Tesla on
one
his channel because I know that he had over $10 million
there was a
invested in
real estate
Tesla.
syndicator named Grant Cardone, who said, hey, screw buying single-family houses. Those are small deals. You'll never make money with those. Having a real estate background, I had my own opinions, which substantially differed, because here I was helping people and my own clients and watching them grow their wealth starting with nothing. And that's what we did. So it felt to me like a total slam against what I stood for. And so I decided to do what any normal person would do and just make YouTube videos making fun of the guy and delivering flowers to his office to make a point that what he was doing was not what I agreed with.
And then he got sued for stalking. Like, it wasn't even defamation or anything. He got sued for stalking. Kevin. And I guess Grant Cardone has like an in-house legal like thing, so he doesn't even have to spend any extra money to sue someone. So Kevin lost, even though he won the court case. He lost money and Grant Cardone didn't.
From my experiences poking too many bears, I've learned it's really a good idea to have media insurance or insurances for whatever it is that your business is. That helps no matter what you're doing, from general liability to professional
I knows I can't afford
insurances.
that.
Every single year I look at myself and I'm like, oh gosh, last year I was an idiot. This year will be better.
When it comes to the future, we're really excited about growing our family, having more children once the pandemic is over, traveling with our children, letting them experience life in other countries, and just trying to live life to its fullest. I do think with Kevin, it's in his nature to always work, and he kind of gets like a high from making money, and so
Who doesn't?
I respect that.
Who
That's something
doesn't like
people
seeing
always
money
want
in their
to
bank
do,
account?
And I think he always will do it. But at the same time, I think you and I, we've talked about it. You recognize that we are at a dollar amount now that it makes sense to maybe take a step back a bit.
And in the meantime, I guess I'll just keep playing Monopoly.
Great episode. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Dude, I love Meet Kevin because he's so positive about everything. I mean, like, sure, everything worked out for him, but I feel like a lot of that had to do with the mindset that, like, he was ready to do this. And also, of course, he wanted to be a real estate agent, and his girlfriend's mother had a lot of experience, decades of experience in property management. So they were really set up for success here. But, like, I love Kevin because Kevin was never, like, show-offy, rub it in your facey. He's like, hey, look at me. If I can do this, you can do this. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Be sure to like the video if you like the video. Be sure to invest in the subscribe button because it's guaranteed to increase in value over time. Hit the notification bell so that you can see every single thing that I upload, and I'll see you next time. Bye.